All I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
How are you?
Hey, who wants to help me get this recorder out of here? I need some muscle over here.
You are listening to Blame Your Brother. Hello. Welcome, everyone, to Blame Your Brother, episode 138. We are back once again, here to entertain you for the next hour, the third best podcast in Nashville, and we stream every Thursday night here at blameyourbrother.tv. But next week, we'll actually be streaming the show live on Wednesday. We'll have a special guest. We're going to release that information on social media. I think you'll be excited about it. So sit tight for that. Follow us on social media. We can find out who the guest will be. But next Wednesday, come join us because we'll be streaming the show then. Because the Thursday after that's my birthday and the NFL draft, and I'm going to go down there. So, all right. Well, we come to you every week. There's three of us. I am 1/3 of that trio. I am David, a.k.a. D-Brew, voice of the people, Mr. 40%. The Solid Five, and I'm joined by this man who sits over here to the left of me. It's my brother, it's Lee.
What up, everyone? It's Paul, once Saul, gatekeeper of the millennials, and of course, the one and only LeBron safety pin.
That's right, and then we got this guy sits over here to the right of me. It's the one, it's the only, it's John.
John here, a.k.a. Tico, a.k.a. Mr. Groupon, the Solid 2, Mr. PTI, the Madman.
They got John Tortorella, a madman.
They do have a madman.
Okay, he's a madman.
There we go. John Tortorella, not to be confused with the coach who's been on TV lately because their team won or something. So there you go. This is the authentic John Tortorella. So, yes, we are Blame Your Brother. We are a podcast. You can get it every Friday mornings. You probably already know that. So we'll continue on with the show. But, yeah, get it. Tell people about it. But, yeah, so we're going to start the show off like we do every week, where we offer a chance for us to apologize, make retractions, omissions, something we got wrong, something we need to get off our chests. And we start with every week, we start with Lee. Lee, anything you need to apologize for last week's episode?
I do have to apologize for something. Ooh. I started strong with the Bob Dylan take, and guess who made the news this week?
Bob Dylan.
Old Bobby.
Yep, old Bob.
You want to just talk about that now, or you want to get into it later?
We'll get into it later.
All right.
Because I got thoughts on that and other stuff with it. Yeah.
More Bob Dylan to come.
More Bob Dylan.
John, I've got something written down. I don't know if you remember or not.
Let me have it.
I just have it. John recommends murder.
Oh, wow.
Is the one. And it says, John, it's not child abuse if it's your child.
If it's not your
child. If it's not your child, my bad.
So?
Sticking by that one, huh?
I mean, technically, it's not child abuse. It's just assault, isn't it?
Are you going to apologize for the statement you made about murdering children right now?
Stepping through that one. I don't know. I think they're lighting up the switchboard.
It was done satirically. If you think I need to apologize for it, then...
wow.
Yeah.
This man has
I got
limits.
a snowflake for you.
Oh, John's coming with that Fox News energy right there.
Right there.
All right, so nothing.
Little BDE.
You good with everything else? Good?
Yeah.
All right, good.
What about you?
Solid as can be. I'm sure this week I will offend many as we get to what blew up.
You've definitely offended a few people.
We blew up the internet this week on our small social circle, so we'll definitely get to that. So as of right now, I'm good, but hey, more to come in the future. So there we go. So how was everyone's week this week?
Wait, we got to do
okay.
P-Gate update.
Oh, Pissgate.
Oh,
Pissgate.
P-Gate.
I thought we weren't talking about that anymore.
Pissgate sounds better.
I know it does.
Okay.
It just sounds filthy.
Well, it is filthy. It is filthy. So to recap, if you're first time listening here, John's nephew pissed all on his carpet intentionally, lied about it, and really hasn't made any amends on it. So we're just going to, real quick, don't mention murdering anyone this week or beating them down.
Abusing other people's children.
Is there an update on Pissgate?
Monday, we will be replacing the carpet.
Womp, womp, womp.
I talked to my sister yesterday, and told her like what was gonna happen, what we were having to do, and how much it was gonna cost, and she like totally glossed over any
responsibility.
Any responsibility.
Awesome.
Well, she's like, you should tell him that. I'm like,
does he have the money to
No.
pay for it?
No, he
I
doesn't.
was
He's
saying that's
12
what I
years
would
old.
say to her. Like,
Yeah.
why would I tell him? You're the parent.
So what's your thoughts on child labor?
I mean, if they're paying back a
Paying
debt, then
debt.
sure.
So indentured servitude, straight, man. Who cares?
Sure, that's great.
Slavery bad, indentured servitude great.
Thumbs up. There you go. That was okay. So all right. Well, good. We'll keep us up to date on. So week has come and gone, Lee. Anything good happened this week? Exciting, enthralling?
Yeah, man. I was like had the time of my life out in Nashville, man, just running the streets. But I lost my wallet in a Lyft drive. Have you ever done that before?
No, I never have. How does that work?
You have the app, and you go into the app, and you're like,
oh, you just call the guy?
I mean, I guess text him, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And you got it back?
Yeah, but the guy's like, yeah, I got it here. So, you don't have your wallet, so you're feeling a little, like naked, if you will.
Yeah, for sure.
This guy's like, oh, man, I'm coming to Nashville. I'm like, okay, good. It's like 6 o'clock. I'm like, great, I'm going to have my wallet soon. Time starts stretching by. It's like 10, 11. I'm like, texting him. He's like, yeah, bro, I'm like in Nashville. I'm busy. I'll get it to you as soon as possible. I'm like, all right. He means like, another hour. So finally, I'm like, man, I got to go to bed. It's like midnight. I'm like, dude, like, hook me up. He's like, I'm going to be working for like 2 more hours. I'm like, what? You're going to show up at my house at like 5 o'clock in the morning with my wallet?
I want to break down this timeline again. So you initially got in touch with this guy around 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 o'clock. I was at the mall.
And then at 10 o'clock p.m., you started to go.
Well, I talked to him on the phone, and he's like, yeah, I'll be in Nashville tonight. That works out good.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like he's going to drop by first thing before he starts lifting again,
Let's play a game. John, I just want you to mentally paint us a picture of this Lyft driver, and then we'll see how close you are to what he actually was.
I can probably pull up a picture of him.
Okay, good. So, John, just throw it out there. What are you feeling right now?
Probably young, college age, maybe a little bit later, African American.
That's a bold choice.
Yeah. Bold move, Cotton.
I never would have went there. But
that's
nothing is wrong with it.
Does race matter? Does race matter?
No, it doesn't.
I'm describing somebody's looks. I mean, you need to mention that. So yeah.
Okay, so black man, college age. Okay, so I'm gonna say this guy was definitely Middle Eastern, right? He was probably around 25 to 30 years old. And who was closer? Probably neither
of you.
Oh, he's a white guy.
Mm-hmm.
White guy, older guy. Oh yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that. So he's a bald white man.
Yep. Drove like a.
He looks like Mr. Clean.
Small rich.
He looks like Mr. Clean. There's a good reference
literally,
for all the people listening.
I think he lifted that picture from Mr. Clean ad.
So okay, did he ever show up?
Yeah, he showed up at like 2 o'clock. Because I texted him, I was like, please bring it by now. I mean, I was in bed.
What day of the week was this?
It was Saturday night.
Okay. It's a little bit better. Okay, so you finally got it back, and what happened then? Just do you give him a tip or?
I did, but then Lyft charges you $15. This isn't like.
Whoa!
Listen, I felt like a king among men Friday night. I had the best time. We went to a rock show.
Okay.
So it was this rock and roll band playing at Basement East. Now I worked near Lightning 100. Earlier that day, I'd seen these 2 guys, and I was like, these dudes are in a band. I was this close to walking up to him and being like, are you in a band? I didn't. Show up at the club. I don't know who's playing. And it's the 2 guys that I'd seen. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's kind of serendipitous, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they killed it. It was like a 2-piece, kind of like Black Keys. And the drummer didn't sit down. He had like a rack where he'd stand the whole time. And they were like standing on top of amps and picking each other up on their shoulders. Crazy, crazy show. So we immediately get done with that. And then we go to the comedy show at Zany's, which is Sam... and I can't remember these guys' names, but it's like he's like a conspiracy theory guy, and the guy like goes on Joe Rogan a lot and he's like a flat earther. It was a very funny show. And then afterwards we went to the discos, right? Wild night.
Wait a second. So this guy gets a pass for being a flat earther because he's funny? I mean, these people are terrible. I mean, I know no one's saying this, but these flat earthers, these anti-vaxxers.
What if he's pretending to be a flat earther for the laughs?
I think he was strung out on several conspiracy theories, actually. But
I
think some people.
I mean,
some people are just prone to conspiracy.
We can't. We got to stop this. We got to stop saying it's cute and it's niche and it's funny and all. We got to honestly. And I'm being serious now. This has got to stop, okay? If you honestly believe the earth is flat, you need to be taken off the earth because you're an idiot. I don't understand the world we live in.
What if it turned out that it was like actually flat?
Then take me off the earth because I want off this ship because we are in the Matrix.
I hear what you're saying. And he comes out and says that he's like, people think I'm crazy. I get it. I understand. Like, it's odd. This is what I believe. You should believe it too. His comedy didn't really revolve around the conspiracy theory stuff, but at the end they all came back out and sat down and took question and answers from the crowd, which let me tell you, it was an interesting crowd. When you show up to a comedy club and like a tenth of the people are wearing aluminum foil hats.
Oh, nope.
Something's up.
Nope. Okay, so you got charged $15.
Yeah.
So you had the best day of your life. You flat earthing and all that good stuff.
Right.
Okay, so
then I tipped the guy really good.
How much is good?
I just don't even want to put all the numbers here, man.
Anywhere from $20 to $100.
I mean, okay, sure.
Okay, in the ballpark. I gave you an outright. I mean, it could be anything. It could be 20, it could be 100. So, all right.
So then, like, I figured, like, hey, you remember me? I tipped you well. Like, you would want to return my wallet. So then at the end, I'm just like, dude, just bring me my wallet now. I'll make it worth your while. So I ended up tipping him again, and then Lyft charged me $15.
You should have done that, dude. That was dumb.
I know, man.
So Rusty says, Rusty Greer's in the chat right now. Rusty Greer on social media, Rusty G, says he's a Lyft driver, and he says, as a consideration for your driver's time, passengers are subject to a fee of $15 for the return of a lost item. The full amount goes to the driver.
And I appreciate Lyft gives all the money to the driver. That's awesome. And I was obviously already tipped the guy massively. I would have tipped him again. I did for bringing my wallet sooner. Like, I'd done this guy, like, he's acting like he's out there working, making money. I'm like, no, dude, come to my house. You will make more right now. Yeah. But I guess he was playing the long con. Like, I'm going to get your money anyway.
John, would you have tipped him, do you think?
After all that time?
Yes, thank you. I think that's the big key, right?
That's the big key. If you'd have
But I had texted him and said, if you bring it now, I'll make it worth your time. I wasn't going to tip him, but then I was like, he said like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, nah, just bring it now. I'll make it worth your time.
But he lied to you, so you're equally
he
able
knows
to
where
lie
I
to
live.
him, right? I mean,
he knows where I live.
He's like, yeah, man, I'll be there in a couple hours. I mean, yeah, two or three.
I was just relieved to shut that door.
Okay.
And turn the page, you know?
Yeah, I understand.
And here's the kicker. Here's the thing that I will never know for sure that it's going to bother me. I think I had $10 in my wallet.
It was gone?
It was gone.
Hell no. He stole that from you.
I didn't even check before I got back in the house.
Mr. Clean stole that damn $10.
Mr. Clean cleaned you out.
Yeah,
That's what he did.
He handed you the wallet.
He did.
Oh, hell, dude. Well, unless people were back in the car. I mean, I don't know. I guess
if you found a wallet,
I'd put it up front with me, and I wouldn't.
Would you take the money?
Hell no.
Would you copy the credit card numbers down?
No, I found wallets before. I was in
it's way worse.
Right. I was in Walmart one night. Me and my wife were, and we found this wallet. And it must have had $500 cash in it and everything.
That's mine, baby.
We went through the store. I looked through the wallet, found a number, called her. She was in the store and didn't even know her wallet was missing. Did she give us any amount of money?
Nope.
No. I'm just a nice guy.
No, that's I didn't. I'm just saying, in that situation, I'd probably break off someone a 20 if I had like $500.
Especially if you know they had to look in your wallet for your number. They know.
Right, yeah.
So do you know anybody that would just take the $500 and throw the wallet?
Yes, many people, yes.
Can you name names?
No, I'd rather not.
Or like relationships?
Relatives, for sure. relatives
okay,
for sure,
okay.
Yeah. A few acquaintances, possibly a few friends. Who knows? You know what I mean? A lot of people would. So, I don't know. Because that was your night. The weekend. Good. The week. John, what about you? Anything?
I
said no.
Yeah, not really.
Really?
Sat around the house, watched some tube.
Watched my big TV, smelled pee coming down the...
that's the problem is the big TV's in the room with the pee. I can't go in that room.
Yeah,
WWE's not on the TV tonight.
I got another TV, man.
There you go. He's got multiple TVs, big money over here. So... Saturday was record store day.
Okay.
Did you attend? Did you partake?
I did not. I didn't find out till after the fact.
Okay. And John, I know you didn't. Well,
no.
I went out.
I also didn't have my wallet.
That's true. You have like Google Pay or something on your phone, right?
I have Venmo.
I just set it up. I mean, the thing where you can touch I just set it up. I haven't tried it yet, but record store day was Saturday, and so I was going to go out to the closest one to me. I mean, there's some great ones. There's Luna Record Shop in Franklin, which is a fantastic one. There's obviously Grimey's in Nashville. There's some good ones out there, but I was going to go to the one Variety Records in Columbia.
Is it run by an alderman?
I mean, it's run by Bob Dylan, hipster wannabe guy. But
okay.
But so I went there. In the past couple of years, it was great. They had bands there. They had everything. I go in there. There's no one even in the store. There's like 4 exclusive records. They're all from 1970 to 1980. There's nothing new there. It's like they don't even know it's record day. It's like very weird. And I'm looking around, I'm like,
They didn't even know it was record day?
I mean, no, they did, but they didn't act like it. I was
Did
almost,
they have the exclusive record day records?
well, I just said they had 4.
Okay.
And they were all like old ones.
But that's kind of cool.
No, not these. Like Rolling Stone's greatest hits.
Oh, that's not
reissue.
exclusives, though.
No,
It's
it
like
said no.
one's made for
No,
record
it
day.
had the thing on there. It said this is exclusive record day.
Huh.
It was like a remaster. So I'm like, I
Oh.
don't want that.
Interesting.
I don't need the Stones remastered. They're good the way they are. And I just left there like disappointed. I mean, I look forward to this. Is one of my favorite events of the
Why
year.
did you go to Columbia?
No, because I just said Lee is obviously that.
No, I'm saying,
the
like-
lights just flashed. That's
Yes,
awesome.
they did.
I
mean, did you not do the math in your head? Like, I want a good record day experience. I'll go to
you
Columbia.
didn't hear any of the story, did I? I said in the past few years, they've had bands there. Like for the entire day, they've had all these
You've
exclusive.
been lied to. Lied to.
No, I don't know. I guess they just didn't give a damn this year. I mean, there was records I wanted to buy, but I guess maybe it's God telling me I shouldn't have bought the records.
He's been on your case lately.
Yeah, he's been giving me
Touch of
signs.
Grey.
Yeah,
Blink 182.
that's right. He's telling me. So that was Saturday, and then today, I took my daughter in. She's wearing one of those little helmets. I mean, I don't know what they're called. They're called. I mean,
Cranial band.
cranial band. Yeah. So that was today. Had to go in.
How'd
and
that
get it's going all right. I don't
How's she
think.
taking to
What
the
makes-
cranial band?
I mean, I guess I never thought about this, but it makes them very hot because all the heat's getting trapped in the head,
Yeah.
and so basically
a fanner. Get
they
the
gotta.
Oriental fan
I
out.
mean, just wear nothing hardly when they sleep. Like a diaper and like a shirt or
So
something.
she has the fully enclosed because some
No.
have cutouts and stuff.
It's got to cut out
in the back or top.
on the
or
top. Yeah.
It's got her name like spray painted
No,
on
they
it.
don't do that. You got to do that on your own because
Bring it over. I'll get
the
my
F-
crayons out.
the FDA will not approve it if it's tampered with after they've approved the initial one.
Wow.
So the doctor's office can't do anything with it. That's what the guy was telling me. So that was my day. It was all right. I'm really looking forward to next week though.
And that's a big week for you.
NFL draft, my birthday. It's all lining up. I can't wait. I love.
We've got a podcast on Wednesday.
Yeah, a lot's happening.
So if you're tuning into the live broadcast, you'll want to catch us on Wednesday instead of next Thursday. We've got a very big guest in the studio.
Yes, we do. Watch out for social media. We'll be revealed. Saturday, Avengers comes out. The end game.
Friday.
Oh, Friday. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
Friday.
Oh, wow.
Friday it comes
Slipping.
out. Are you gonna go see it, John, on Friday or Saturday?
Probably not.
Oh, you're not on the internet much, right?
I am quite a bit.
Well, then you don't need to be for a while.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to steer clear of it.
Lee, are you any plans to see? Do you even care?
I mean, yeah, it'll probably be at least something to talk to about people with. My
Okay.
wife is a huge fan, so I'm sure
Okay.
she wants to go.
Well, good.
And actually, we probably might be able to go because her parents are in town.
There you go. Okay.
Speaking of big spoilers, though,
Yeah.
are we going to start doing our Game of Thrones update? I don't know if you've been following this weekend was the first episode.
Well, let me
dropped.
set it up. Last year, when Game of Thrones, whenever the freaking show was on last, Lee would have Now, me and John have never watched Game of
You've
Thrones.
never watched Game of Thrones?
No, sir.
We have no desire to watch Game of Thrones.
I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
I do not give a damn. But last year, we started the process where we would give Lee 1 minute, and we can put this in the show notes where people, it's
That's
hot.
true.
It's hot SEO. It's like, all right,
Hot SEO.
SEO.
All that SEO
Game
gets
of
me hot.
Thrones recap or whatever the crap you call it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 1 minute on the clock here,
Okay.
and then you're going to just tell us what happened
Okay.
in 1
Okay.
minute. Okay?
Okay.
So ready, go.
Okay, there's like this creepy little kid in a wheelchair and he can't move, but he says, "Hey, I'm not human really." But then at the end, like the dude comes back that doesn't have an arm and he's like looks at him and then gives him the stare down and then the episode ends. In between, there's like some dragons and it's like if you watch the end afterwards, they have a recap show where the producers, the writers talk about it. And he's like, "Oh, because you can't ride a dragon unless you're the king," and he's like riding the dragon in the show, and then they go to the waterfall where he was having the sex with the redhead and the queen says the same thing, "We could stay here forever," and it's like, oh, that's creepy because his last girlfriend got murdered by the same people.
Okay.
And then there's some other stuff where it's like we don't have enough food and like there's creepy people hung up with hands and stuff. I don't know.
And like an aunt, I'm just going to jump in. You got
Okay.
10 seconds left. So an aunt and a nephew are having sex, right?
That's the way it's been explained to me. I don't know if that's accurate.
What do you mean?
There is a midget.
No.
There is an Enoch. They were riding in a car. One made a
All
joke
right, well,
about not
that's
having
it.
balls.
Minutes over. Game of Thrones recap. There we go. What season is this? Final season.
8. I think,
Season 8,
7?
episode 1. You just heard it, John. Anything? Now I read a lot of stuff about it, so I kind of knew.
You know the most. You probably know more about it than
than
anyone at this table.
Did anything in that make sense?
There was a redhead. That means somebody had red hair.
What about the
very
kid in
About
the
it.
wheelchair? What's that about?
I didn't know they had wheelchairs on that show.
So,
John, if they have dragons, they can have wheelchairs.
So the very
Not
first-
necessarily.
so in season 1, episode 1, the
Okay.
brother and sister are having sex in the watchtower.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't alarm anyone.
No, I know this.
And he throws the kid off the tower.
Oh, that's
and-
the kid in the
yeah.
wheelchair. He's back.
Well, he comes back with he's like touched the void. He's like sees, you know.
But he's back.
the three-eyed
Do they know
crow.
he's back?
Yeah, they
Oh.
drug him to the north and they drug him back down.
Are they not scared of this kid?
People are like, "You're creepy, dude," and he's like, "Yeah, I am."
But no, why are the brother and sister not scared? Not, Lee, they
Well, the
murdered.
brother-
They murdered this individual.
So the brother thinks that he's his brother, so he's elated to see him. Yeah.
So he killed him, and then he's like, "Oh, it's cool that you're back, bro."
No. The other brother is the brother from another mother with no
Oh,
hand.
I don't. I'm okay. We're done with this
Yeah.
dumb show. Okay, got a question.
Okay.
I was sitting the other day thinking about it. We got some good responses. I'll read some of those on Twitter. And I really want you to, give it some thought before you just say a word. Because what is one word that no one has ever described you as? Now, everybody's first thing will go, well, I'm not stupid. But people have called you stupid before.
I've called myself stupid.
Okay. And so is there anything, I was trying to think.
Successful, maybe?
No, but my mom has called you successful.
Okay,
so you got to really think.
I saw.
Everyone.
Okay, so you posted this on Twitter. You got
Yeah.
a lot of responses, and I almost responded, but I was like, man, I don't know. Like, that's a hard question if you really answer it.
I was trying to
accurately.
I thought about it for a long time.
What did you put?
Dapper.
Dapper.
I've never
Yeah, I
been
could see
described
that.
as dapper.
You are
no.
You are not
right,
dapper.
John. No
Yeah.
one has ever said David is dapper. Okay, if they were being sarcastic. But that because I was thinking, all right. I'm loud, but I used to be quiet. I was shy. I was called quiet half my life, and now I'm called loud, and I've been shy before, and I've been outgoing, and so I started, man, like it's gonna be hard for me to find something here. I don't know. I've been poor. I've been middle class. Some people say, oh, you're rich. So really to encompass what is the one thing, because I think as people we have all these characteristics on us that we sometimes forget about. And so I was just trying to think, what's one thing that would never sum you up? And people were like, oh, good looking. And I'm like, well, someone has called you good looking before in your life. Come on.
If you're married, you're
right.
You know.
Okay. So anyway, I'm going to try to find it.
So it doesn't have to be the truth.
No, no, it doesn't have to be the truth.
Okay.
Yeah. You think about
Someone
it like that.
just had to call you.
What's that?
Lit?
Lit?
Yeah,
I've
definitely.
seen you lit before,
Yeah.
brother. What are you talking
You've
about?
been called lit. Yes.
I'll give you some.
I'm stretching, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, while
All right,
you're
give us some-
thinking,
give us
I'll
some
give us
examples.
some listener responses. Okay, so we had Heather Squeaky Ha said idiotic. Now I would go, yeah, I would love that, but I've been called idiotic.
I don't
before.
know. I have a feeling that she's been called idiotic.
Yeah. So
no offense to her.
no, but
I'm just
people
saying.
that disagree with you all the
Right,
time will call you
exactly.
idiotic.
Right.
Resting Beth said patient.
That's probably accurate. Like, she probably knows herself. She's
Yeah.
probably not a patient
Okay.
person.
Tasha says mean.
I don't know. I think I don't know her that well,
Right.
but I bet if you pissed her off,
might
she could be
mean.
mean.
I mean,
I'm
it's
just
people
guessing.
listening.
I don't know.
Respond.
I don't know.
Anjolie said dull.
Okay, that's
And-
a
but
good
I
one.
mean, I don't think I'm dull, but I know people have thought I've been dull
Yeah.
before.
But that's
for sure.
you. That's you.
Right. Working hard for half, a new listener, says boring. And once again, I don't think I'm boring, but I know people have said I'm boring before. Jason Steen says timid. Which you might see with him. Me and him, yeah. But I've been timid before. Like I said, I'm talking your entire life. I'm not talking as an
Yeah.
adult. I'm talking from the day you were born to the day you will die. Or, that's dumb. Because that would be, what's the future? But as right now, where you're at. JBB Ryan, that's Josh Baker, says modest.
I think I've called him modest before.
Really?
Honestly, yeah, he's very extremely talented.
All right. So Shady Blue says ugly.
Okay.
Me, I said.
I've been called that.
Oh, I said refined. Okay, I thought I said dapper. Refined.
Dapper is
whatever.
better.
Yeah. Miranda Blue says sophisticated.
That's probably a good one.
Bree Poe says pessimistic.
Oh, well, then I am optimistic. No one has ever called me optimistic.
That might be true. You might
no one has ever called me optimistic.
You might have hit that. You might. J. Rob says athletic, which might be true.
It might be true for me.
Lulu says sweet. That's come on. And sometimes you sulk. Sword Twist, who actually runs Luna Record Shop, says boring. A lot of people said boring. And then David Eastwick said sexy. No, I kid you not. Not a single person has ever said I'm sexy. And Joshua Rich. So there you go. A lot.
Rich in character, my friend.
So so you're optimistic. Okay, I want to say refined. And then John, what is there anything you can think of offhand?
Well read.
No, anyone in my family would.
Before the show started, before Shirley Lee said, "I'm done being a hater. I'll never be a hater again."
I was trying to help him out.
The show.
Anyway,
he should admit he spends all his time on the internet.
I didn't say all my time.
Okay, what about satanic? Maybe has anyone ever called you satanic?
Well, probably not.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. Is that what you want to go with?
Demonic.
That's fine.
Okay.
Evil.
Evil? Is anyone you think anyone's ever thought you were evil?
You're an
John,
evil.
I don't know.
Little
Probably
man.
jokingly they were like,
but no, I'm talking.
evil.
No, let's say I'm not talking joking. I mean, they were serious when they said the thing about you. Do you think? I don't think. Yeah, that might be a good one. I don't know if anyone would say you're evil. I know I've been called evil, but once again, I think if you pick any word,
I've been in the room when someone's called you evil.
I could probably do.
I've called you evil.
So. I don't know. It's crazy, but that's just something I thought about. And give that thought and let us know.
It is hard to come up with.
It's very hard if you give it serious thought, like I do.
Yeah.
That's why I'm the worst. I like any question. I'm like, I want to give this 100. Like any of those polls on Twitter, I'm like, well, let me really think about which one. I know some people are just.
You spend a lot of time in your day thinking about Twitter polls.
I do. I'm like
pouring over it.
So one of them was like,
research.
Which one's the best movie character? And it was like I can't like pick two great movie characters, like John McClane or Rocky. And I'm like, let me ponder this for about 30 minutes. Anyway, so let us know what yours is. Hit us up on social media. Tell us. Rusty Greer in the chat says devilish. Aquafina says heretic, apostolate. Take your pick. Those are good. Apostolate might be. But once again, me and Lee were heavy into religion and early in our life.
Fitting for you guys.
We were going to be the first brother preacher duo team. Yeah. It's going to be amazing. It's probably not even the first, but
which is crazy because you're talking about Will Red. I actually picked up a book. I went to a bookstore in Columbia since I couldn't find a record.
You've been staying local here.
I was like, let me go get a book. I got the book of David, and it's one of those from the Bible, and it's one of those. I love reading about the Bible. I genuinely do. I think it's one of the most fascinating books that's ever been written. And what I really like is when people approach it from a historical angle. I want to know, like, why was this written this way? And it's really doing a good job explaining how the book of David was written and how the character actually was versus maybe not. I love it. So it's a really good read. But that stuff just appeals to me. I don't know why. Like, there was a series talking about how the plagues on Egypt could have actually happened, and they kind of went historically.
I've seen that. That's actually really interesting.
I love that stuff. I find it so fascinating. But anyway, so I just got there.
When people are thirsting for the truth, even a drop will set them free.
A drop of rain will set you free. All right, well, let's get into some stories. Do we got some stories? So we got let's touch on this Bob Dylan thing.
Let's circle back around.
Bob Dylan slams fan for breaking his no photo rule at Vienna concert. We can either play or we can pose. And he basically was talking to fans who were taking pictures of him while
stopped in the middle of a song.
Yeah, stopped in the middle of a song. That's Ryan Adams type.
So he has a rule that no one's allowed to take pictures during his set.
So I listened to Girl Barrel Sports this week, and I think they posed the same question. It wasn't because of this, but it was for something else. They said, is there any event you would go to and not take your phone or have it locked up? Because I know Chris Rock does it.
Dave Chappelle
does. Oh, so they made you lock it up?
They had the little green bags. Have you experienced that before?
I have not, but I've heard
It's little green bags. You know how when you shoplift, they got those little sensors. They got a little sensor on it, and at the end there's a magnet.
Okay. So you were fine with it. You don't have a problem with it?
No.
John, what about you?
I mean, if it's that's their policy, then yeah. I mean,
well, here's the thing.
I'm not there necessarily to take photos. I'm there for the experience.
If you can't get away from your phone, like let's say you have a kid and you're like emergency, if you're in that situation, you probably don't need to be at a comedy club.
Well, I've got a smartwatch, so I mean, I could still
snapping pictures.
I could get my text and everything on here, so I would be fine.
Oh, they might put that in a bag, brother. They might be
they're
looking
not
for it.
They're not
You
gonna put
might
watch.
know.
Now the the Moto 360 could take pictures with
Through a bag.
That's a good question. Well, there's some smartwatches I believe it take pictures on the watch.
Oh yeah.
But if you're that lame, here's what I look at it. Number one, I know. I don't like to be told what to do. Okay, so I mean,
they tell you not to talk.
I know me. I would
Tell you
try
not to pee on the carpet.
I would try to sneak my phone in because I'd bring 2 phones in and I'd drop one in the bag just because they told me not to do it. Not because I would even want to. I generally, if I go somewhere, I will generally take a picture for this show. Just people, just get the word out. People interested. But I'm like John. I'm kind of probably like you. I'm not there snapping 100 pictures and doing the video of the band and all that. But if I was the band, I would never have a problem with people videoing pictures.
Yeah.
Please video this whole concert, live stream it, share it with all your friends. Bob Dylan's at the point where he can do that.
Let me step in here. I think I read about this a little bit, and someone had a theory that a lot of people are doing flash photographies. Mm-hmm. Bob Dylan is old. He's like 80. Mm-hmm. And they say that someone flashed a picture and it blinded him.
Can't do that.
That's what they were doing. That's the thing. If you let people do it, someone's going to have not only a flash, they're going to have like a spotlight that stays on so they can get their iPad video.
But there's etiquette, man.
And then someone's going to bring an iPad tab,
that's probably how it started.
notebook and hold it up, like a laptop, and hold it up in the air and take a video,
Yeah, I know. I've seen that, actually. Not a laptop, but I've seen big tablets. I'm like, are you literally carrying that around that's so weird. But anyway, John.
I mean, that's probably how the rules got started is poor etiquette and it
you're right.
getting out of hand.
Yeah,
but he stumbled over a monitor, and then 30 seconds left. 30 seconds later, he left. Like, he stepped back after his speech and then stumbled, and people were like, he was probably embarrassed and just left.
I mean, to be fair to the artist as well, if the pause, I really wouldn't sneak a phone in. I would want to sneak. I would sneak one in just in my pocket. But if they say no pictures and they say no videos, and you're there to really witness the artist, just put the damn thing up. I just don't understand like when Chappelle said no video, no that. Yes, sir. I'm here to see you.
So you don't like people telling you what to do unless it's people named Dave.
You probably. Yeah, that's right. I just don't like it. I'm not saying I would, but you know me. I remember when John Lennon, or I don't remember.
You remember John
I remember
Lennon.
reading that when John Lennon was in the Beatles, they all were supposed to have their ties up to their neck. And his rebellion, he was, I guess, kind of like me in that sense, is that he would take his down just a little bit, just to say, hey, I'm not going to follow your rules. That's the kind of things I like to do.
John Lennon for you.
Yeah, so. But anyways, well, good for Bobby. I mean,
And they're like, don't date Yoko. And he's like, I'm going to marry her.
Yeah, that's probably what happened, actually. Yeah. Just that's unfortunate.
Despite you guys.
John Lennon, it's kind of like Back to the Future, too. It's just watching my kids the other night. I don't like when people call me chicken, which is so dumb.
It was dumb.
It's dumb.
Because it was not mentioned at all in the first movie.
I know, it's dumb. But anyway,
so.
that's the Bob Dylan, John Lennon. Don't call me chicken.
But I was seriously thinking about that too, and I was like, you think about local artists or local shows you go to. They're probably like, yes, take my picture,
please.
Post it on social media, and then Bob Dylan's like, hey man,
well, he don't need it. Yeah, I mean. He never would need it. 10 billion people could be there, and then still it wouldn't help him, because everyone knows who Bob Dylan is. And if they don't
So who was I always get this wrong, and I've even seen this guy live. The guy on Parks and Rec, the comedian.
Nick Offerman?
No,
Aziz Ansari?
Aziz.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I went and saw him,
okay.
And he did not do this, but he has a bit before they came out with the bags where he'd be like, all right, I'm going to take the first 2 minutes, and anyone that wants to take a photo or a picture, whatever, video, go ahead and do it. And he just walks around the stage and poses and acts
That's good.
And then he goes, okay, everyone put your stuff up. You got your videos. We're going to do the show.
That's
now.
Cool. That's a great idea, actually.
Now, when I went, he did the bags, and he actually gave a 2-minute speech. He's like, I know it sucks. And he gave a long speech about the bags and why they do it and why it's necessary. But,
I understand.
I mean, these people put a lot of thought into it, though. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I guess.
It's a little different in comedy, though. Because if you're trying a new bit, you don't want people to photo it and disseminate it to other people.
Yeah, you don't want video popping up and people going, this is tough. It's like they're working it out. Give them a break. So, okay. Well.
So what do you think? Are we blaming Bob Dylan for this?
No, we never blame Bob Dylan. Get out.
For being awesome.
The guy that took the picture should have been booted immediately. I do agree with that. If you're told not to do it and you're up there snapping pictures, especially with the flash on, get the hell out.
Well, I was reading today there's concerts where the artist brought in his own security team, and if they saw anyone taking pictures, they would confiscate the phone. So the security at the venue was like, oh, hell no, you can't do that. That's theft. So they started yanking the phones back and giving them back to the people. And that's the thing. They said, like, you can kick them out, but you can't steal their phone.
Yeah, that's a little bit far.
But there was another band, I think it was some 80s hair band, but their rule, I think it was like Ted Nugent or what's the talk box guy.
Oh,
Peter Frampton. What their rule was, and evidently this is common for like photo passes, is like for the first 3 songs, you're allowed to come down to the first couple of rows and take as many pictures as you want.
All right.
But after those 3 songs, you have to put the cameras
I think I like Aziz the best. I mean, because people do want to let people know they were at the show.
But they
like
these
younger people
they want, like, if you have if Blowing in the Wind is your favorite Bob Dylan time, and you like saved up $200 to get good tickets to front row, and then all you want to do is record Bob Dylan singing Blowing in the Wind before you die, so you can watch it again later.
But most of them are just putting it on Instagram stories, and it's gone within 24 hours. I mean, I'm guilty of it. When I went to go see Elvis Costello and he played Allison, which is one of my favorite songs ever written, I videoed it for like 10 seconds. I was like, this is awesome. I want people to know I'm hearing one of my favorite songs ever written.
That was what went through your mind. I'm a better person than all these people.
Pretty much.
Right this moment.
Right, I think so.
I want to record it and put it in their face.
And it's like, I'm so far back and you can barely see it. And I'm like, but
it's not going to hurt anyone.
That's what I'm saying. So when I went to Oasis or Noel Gallagher's show, I when he played Wonderwall, which is another one of my favorite songs ever written, I videoed that as well. Just say, this is where I'm at, cool. But yeah, if I went to Bob and it said on the door, do not take pictures, I wouldn't take pictures.
Have you ever recorded a song at a concert, Lee?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Me too.
Who hasn't?
But if I'm with David, if they say no videos, I'm not going to be the jerkwad that pulls it out.
Unless you wear spy cam glasses, which I do have them.
I don't doubt that you've creeped around in many bushes.
Moving on. Next story. Something burned down this week. You want to tell people what it was? My kids were telling me about this today, actually. My younger son, Nick, was telling me all about Notre Dame and how it was going to be a bad Friday because Notre Dame burned down. He was telling me that people went in and tried to save things while it was burnt. I mean, he knew more about it than I did. I was like, maybe he just needs to start his own podcast. But anyway, so I made the joke on Twitter. Okay, if you don't, Notre Dame burned down. The fire caught.
If you haven't heard this, you've been living under a rock.
It's caused by electrical short circuit. Okay, so I thought about it, and I was going around work. I was at work when it happened. I said, I guess God's finally pissed off at the Catholics. Okay, so I thought that was funny, and a couple people laughed at work. I was like, all right. So I tweeted out, and Heather Squeaky Haw,
who's a Catholic,
lost her mind. And she said, why would you say that?
You kind of lost your mind yourself.
She said, why would you say that? And I'm like, because this is a bad religious organization. And I'm sorry. And Sarah Knightley came in and said many of the things I said. If you're going to act like this is not an institution that hid purposefully that kids were being molested and moved those same priests into other places and molested more kids and molested more kids and molested more kids, if you're acting like in movies and documentaries have been made about it, countless, you can't sit here and act like that's not on their hand. That blood is on their hands.
First off, I loved the original tweet. I think making jokes about Notre Dame is funny because it's a light topic. No one was killed.
Yeah, if people got killed,
the building was saved. Okay, maybe it's a horrible tragedy, but it's light. It's making fun of it. It's not like it's really affecting anyone per se. It's funny to make fun of. It's not like if there was a story about priest raping kids, that would not be as funny to make fun of, right?
Right, yeah.
So it's like make fun, but then it's like once the Twitter war devolves into this mess of pedophilia, it's like it's no longer fun.
You're right, and probably being in that church is no fun because they raped thousands of children. Thousands, more than that. More, it's in the hundreds of thousands.
We talked about this a number of weeks ago, but if someone is Catholic, you can't expect them to give up their religion because the leaders of the organization, if the organization is corrupt, yes, you have to clear house and clean it up, but you can't expect all Catholics to go, you know what? We're done with Catholicism.
Brother.
We're done with it.
If a Native American worked with me and I knew, and he came around and said, hey man, stop killing my people, I couldn't sit there and go, oh man, that's a shitty thing to say. I'd have to go, all right, brother, I'll try not to, because you can't deny the history. Or if I were with a black dude and we knew each other well enough, he goes, man, make sure you don't enslave my people. I'd be.
What are you talking about? What does that have anything to do with Catholicism, modern day
You're talking about a group of
Catholicism?
people can't go, oh, you can't put it all on the group of people. No, I'm putting it on the institution of that organization. Yes. Dude, come on. The Catholic Church, I don't want to knock anyone's religion. And she goes, what about the Mormons? John knows I've knocked the Mormons on this podcast multiple times. I'll knock them all, baby. I'll knock all religions if you want me to. But at the top of the bad boy list is the Catholics 100%. I don't know who you would put up against them. They're terrible.
Okay.
Who would you put up against them as far as that goes? I mean, tell me. Give me another group. She threw up this dude that's a Mormon, Warren Jeffs or somebody.
Oh, he's not really
That's
Mormon.
my point, though. You can't blame.
Hold on.
This is not a problem with Catholicism. Like, and if these people did it, it's horrible. And if the people covered it up, it's horrible. It's like, this is what it's like. It's like when I tell people that government is good for society. And a lot of people feel like they're anarchist and government in no way can ever be good because it's always corrupt. And I'm like, no, corrupt governments are bad. Everyone will say that. But a well-oiled government that functions for its people is actually really good. It's like what this country was founded on. It's the same way with Catholicism. If corrupt Catholicism is bad, but the people in the pews don't want it as much as they want it less than you do.
They don't. They didn't. You tell me back in the day. Now I'm not talking about the people now. I'm talking that when back in the day, you tell me those people didn't. A lot of those people went to church, didn't know what was happening.
I mean,
Bullshit,
if they did, then
dude.
they're in the conspiracy,
there's
and that's
no
horrible.
way. John, if some priest was up there molesting kids at church you went to, you tell me there's a 0% chance you would know what's happening. Like, hey man, this guy likes to go along with kids all the time.
I would say there'd be a 0 chance, or I would have reported immediately.
Well,
I feel like all of us would.
Who would you report it to?
Whoever, the police.
No, you don't. See, they go to the
I would go to
what's
the
it called?
police.
Bishop or whatever the crap it's called. I don't know.
I would go to the bishop first.
And the police are Irish back in the day, and they're like, you got to let the church handle it. This is factual. I'm not making this up. This is not like a funny bit I've written. This is truth that I'm talking right now.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't say that all Catholics are.
John,
this is not the Catholic man's burden.
Okay, hold on. John, when you think of Catholics, honestly, what do you think of?
I mean, that's the first thing that pops into
not
most
the
people's
first thing.
head.
Oh,
That's
please.
in most people.
Those thoughts are so far removed from my mind, I wouldn't think about that first.
So you put your child, if you had a young boy, you would have no reasons. And I want you to answer this honestly. You would have no reservations about making him an altar boy.
I would have reservations.
Okay,
but
you.
for other
Thank
reasons.
you. Wait, is that an Aquafina hat?
It is.
I like that. That looks good. Aquafina's in chat.
Yeah.
You
can get one at his store. You know?
I'll have to try it on. If it fits good, I'll buy it. Okay. Anyway, to lighten the mood for just a second. Okay. I want to hear about Warren Jeffs real quick. So this guy she said, I don't know. She just said Warren Jeffs. I had to look him up, and the article said
Mormon rapist.
rapes kids or something. I don't know what it said. What do you got to say?
He started his own offshoot when the Mormon church does not allow what he does, and so he's like, well, I'll do my own thing, and he's the leader of his own church. So he's not Mormon.
Okay, so he's not Mormon. Okay.
Pretty much. Let's go ahead and state it. If you ever break away from a church and start your own, you're creepy.
Yeah.
You're creepy, right?
But
no, John's shaking his head no. You got some plans we don't know about?
No, I'm
well, did Joseph Smith not do that?
No, he did
creepy?
not.
He did not.
He was not a member of a church.
He was not. What was he? He was an
a
atheist
con
back
artist.
then?
He was a
I'm curious about it. I didn't know this.
He went to different churches, but he couldn't decide. Even as a kid, he couldn't decide where to go to church at.
Jason Steen's comment: Catholics rising in hard times started this mess. That's a good one. Okay, so Warren Jeffs not a Mormon though. Okay, well then I can't. How am I going to point a finger? This guy's a wacko. Okay, it'd be like going after Charles Manson or David Koresh. I mean, okay, the Catholics.
Okay, can I just
not good? Okay, I'm just saying it. They're not good.
Can I shift the topic?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go back to Notre Dame. So money, the white rich money has been pouring out of the coffers to restore this cathedral. Even Donald Trump has come out and said, "America will send you money." What in the hell is that? Have you been seeing the tweets that say stairs in Puerto Rican? Those are hilarious.
I linked that story because I really want to talk about that as well. This is an organization that Let's talk about Vatican City. Okay, let's talk about Vatican City.
Money.
How much?
They're technically their own country.
How much do you think
they are.
Vatican
They're
City?
a country.
What do you think the net worth of that? I mean, do you know? Because I know you know. A little bit.
I don't know. My guess would probably be
Up there, right?
yes, in the billions.
Now,
More than that.
Now I've read the Bible. Okay, I've read it twice. I think I'm a pretty smart guy. I think I understand the message here of the New Testament. Now, the Old Testament, let's put that to the side.
It's easier for a rich man to get through
the needle, which is great. What that actually means is not an actual needle that you sew thread with. It was a gate, and you had to take all the possessions off your camel to get through it, which is pretty cool. But, I mean, no one understands that because we're all Southern idiots. But if you walked around town and asked the majority of people, they would say it's a needle, like it's impossible. No, it just means you have to lose your possessions. I thought the Bible taught about helping people and not getting caught up in the riches of the world. Yet this city, the palace is made of gold and diamonds and silver, and it's such a testament to God. And it's like, that's what, dude, I could go on Catholic people, not people, but the organization. I think the people are probably there for the right things. I think most people that go to religious groups are. I mean, you know, Aquafina said,
no, they're having their own little debate and chat.
Okay.
Let them go.
But for us not to, and I know everyone says it's on social media. For Flint, Michigan, not to have clean water in 2019 is sickening. It's sickening. And the fact that all these come on, it's rich white people that donated this money, okay? Call me out on that one, please, I dare you. And raised $1 billion when they could have put their money.
I think it's more than that.
Well, it was at the other day, $1 billion. Hey, I'm not knocking
There was one single person that made a donation of $350 million.
Crazy.
Yeah.
for this building, which, hey,
probably wrote it off.
Historically, I don't give a damn about it. If I'm, where's it at? Paris? Where the hell is it? Okay. If I'm ever in Paris hanging out with Kanye, would I stop by and look at it? Sure. It's not a destination spot for me. I don't care.
Take you a basic girl picture and post it on Instagram
exactly,
with your Ugg boots and your Starbucks
exactly.
coffee.
It'd be great.
And your duck face.
Yes, and the duck lips, yes. But I don't care. And I think that these people, if they can't find better things to do with their money, it's sickening. I'm just telling you, it's sickening.
No,
it's
sickening
that
listen,
there's people in
it is cool that it's such an old building. Like, if it was, like, the fact that it's cathedral is kind of whatever. Like, obviously cathedrals are old buildings because they were buildings of importance, but it is cool that it was, like, built in the 1800s, right? Or even older than that.
Yeah, it's
way older.
1300s?
It's 800 years old.
800 years old.
So that puts you at 12.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I mean, yeah. So it sucks that an old building like that but this is not the first time that it's burned down, that they've had to rebuild.
Yeah.
They like planted trees the last time that it did it. So they have like these 100-year-old trees that they're going to harvest and use for the rafters. So it's like,
how about they get a better fire system? I mean, how about you get, dude? Look, I appreciate the fact that it's a historical building, and I want to reiterate this. I'm not happy it burned down. I'm not doing it a dance. I made a funny joke about it. I'm not happy if anything gets burned down besides the racist buildings. Like if all the Confederate statues burned down, I'd be like, hell yeah, dude, God is back.
All right, if the racist statues start getting burned down, they have you on the hook.
I said God is back is actually what I said. God would be doing it. So. Do I think God really burned down Notre Dame? No. It's just it's an old building. It's going to happen. I'm sad that it happened, but it's just Catholic Church, the Pope. I know you're listening. Maybe he'll call in next week. But
David,
I can't keep my composure now. You need to be taking the money. You need to pull a Schindler's List. You need to take all of your money, and you need to be taking all that money and helping people with it.
That would be awesome.
It would be, and it should be. And I don't understand these make it, name it, claim it, the gospel and ministry where God wants me to be successful. Stop that. No, he doesn't. Was Jesus rocking robes and fine linens and things? No, he was a poor carpenter.
I don't know. He had oil on his feet.
One time that people brought to him. Oh, well, yeah, yes.
Maybe.
But
he cursed a fig tree.
You know, I just
poor people can't do that.
It's just that's not the gospel. Okay, it's not. And I know modern day right wing Christians want to act like that's the gospel. That America's supposed to be prosperous and we're all supposed to be rich.
Gospel, right?
But that's not true. It's not true. Jesus said, "Do not tie yourself down with these worldly possessions."
What's funny is the Bible actually goes at length and talks like the people write examples of churches that have fallen from the path of God, and it's like picture perfect what the Catholic Church is, or at least the Vatican City. But let's end it on this. This is how much of an idiot I am.
Oh boy, you thought this was in Indiana.
I thought this was in Indiana at the University of Notre Dame.
Oh my God.
When I first heard this, I'm like, oh no, the Notre Dame Cathedral. And David was like, I was like, hey, white smoke means it's the next pope's going to be American.
Yeah,
He's
dude,
like,
that's
Lou
pretty-
Holtz. And I was like, hey,
That's pretty funny.
Lou Holtz. Yes,
Yeah,
he's got my vote. 'Cause
You say that's dumb, but I would bet.
they had to put out Notre Dame had to, the University of Notre Dame
Oh,
had
I'm
to
sure.
put out a statement.
Oh, I'm sure the majority of Americans thought it was the campus. I
How
guarantee.
does Joe Montana feel about this?
I know, knocking on his door. He's like, I don't know what the hell are you guys
I
talking
would like
about.
to know how Joe Montana
I
feels about
would.
this.
I wish he's on the podcast every week. Okay.
I wish he's like sold isotoners now, you know?
So I want to sum it up.
Bring him back.
Sum it up like this. You say in your closing arguments that the Catholic Church has no culpability
No, I'm saying
in the rape
what
of
I'm
these
saying,
children.
like,
I'm sorry, I'm never going
you
to.
can't expect someone. Look,
Okay, wait for
Catholicism
this.
is completely faith based, right? Like, there's no real evidence of God,
Right.
right?
Yes,
And
right. Sure.
like, so you can't expect someone has such faith, because even like the smallest amount of faith is a huge amount, right? So like, if you're going by faith alone, you can't expect someone just to walk away from that and say these horrible things means that there is no God and we need to switch religions or become Protestants or whatever. It's crazy to expect that from people.
Hey, I'm with you.
And like, yes, corruption, we live in a horrible world where things like this are going to happen, like you described, especially when people are opulent and they live like kings among men. They should be humble. This sort of activity is going to happen. It's us as a people to be vigilant and to rid ourselves of that bad apple as we see it.
Okay.
So from anything, if we look at it positively, the Catholic Church has been giving a task and now it's up to them to solve. So instead of looking at it as a negative, you could almost look at it as a positive.
Well, I'm just end it with this. God in the Bible
I'm an optimist, baby.
destroyed the world with a flood because people were wicked and they were doing wicked things. Are you saying every person was doing wicked things? I would say that's probably hard to believe, but he killed them all. Okay. And then he also destroyed an entire city with fire.
the
But
Old
because the
Testament
people were being wicked and doing sexual things they shouldn't be doing. I'm just saying, if you are Catholic, then you need to be watching out in the sky, because if you honestly believe in vengeance, a vengeful God, he would have come for that church a long time ago. That's all I'm saying. Anyways.
Okay, we'll end it on that.
All right. So that is